We're looking at a number of different ways to try to deal with an exceptional situation, which is a budget gap, the likes of which I don't know that anyone has ever faced in county government before. We've just finished shutting down the community for 3 months and now slowly reopening it. And during those 3 months of shutdown, we've had a tremendous loss of sales tax revenue, a loss of hotel tax revenue. We've lost revenue from our bus fares and from recreation and a host of different areas. And the estimates vary, but depending on how the state and the federal government treat us, we could lose as much as $180 million on the low end and 250 on the high end. Those are unbelievable numbers. So we now have to do things that we otherwise wouldn't want to do, the unthinkable things. One of the things that I want to try to avoid is layoffs and furloughs. Those things hurt people because they're put upon them involuntary. So what this plan is a voluntary separation plan. It does not require anybody to buy into it, but it makes an option available to them that we hope is attractive to enough of the employees that they'll find a way to see it justifying them, and it'll help us reduce the the costs right now of county government. We know that we've got to cut our labor costs. We don't have an option. We have to cut other costs as well. We've taken some moves already that have about a $20 million benefit to the bottom line. We're envisioning some additional actions that have about a $40 million benefit to the bottom line, and these things will project ahead into 2021. And so with the voluntary separation incentive, we're hoping to find those people for whom this is the right time and this is the right offer, and that will help us, deal with this budget gap that we have. We're in a rough space right now. We balanced our budget when we adopted it in December of last year, 2019, for 2020, $2.1 billion budget. It was financed with a reduction in property taxes, an increase in money for the reserve fund. We had set aside significant money to handle our general operations, and then, of course, some of the people that we contract with for a variety of social services. And we really felt we were on a good path in going forward. And that maintained itself through January and February and then into March. And then about mid-March, when we saw the spread of this pandemic, and we took some actions, but the governor took a more decisive action. He shut down a host of different entities, and it was the right thing to do. This is not an insult to a person's contributions to the county. This is in respect to their contributions. Some places are just going right ahead with layoffs. That's not what we're looking at doing. We're looking at giving an option for people for whom it's right. It's not right for everybody, but for whom it is right that this is something that's positive. And then the second element that I want them to think of is that we're trying to do a responsible job here. We didn't create a fake budget crisis. We didn't create a budget crisis in order to deal with, political aims. We're dealing with a societal crisis that every one of us is facing. And I'm sure everybody who works in county government has friends who work in other places. They say, I got laid off, or they've cut back hours, or they've closed this location or this shop. They couldn't make a go of it. We didn't do that. We maintained our responsibilities to our employees, even when they worked from home and weren't brought into the offices, and I think that's a sign of our respect. And to have a voluntary separation program is a sign of respect.